In this video, it is all about keeping your haircut fresh and trim it yourself, getting rid of these unpleasant hairs around your ear and back and giving it a more cleaner, well-groomed look on the sides while making your hair on top stand out better. I like this look especially for the hot summer days, and it's an awesome look to have as well if your hair on top is already receding. This is how you will be able to own that receding hairline with confidence. I will also share with you how to not end up with a failed self haircut, as some of these guys you can see here who tried it during previous lockdowns. Especially for all of you guys who will want to try it for the first time after watching this video. And before we start, shout out to our sponsor GoFiber. These are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning or patchy areas on your scalp to make your hair look thicker and better. So make sure you check out the link in the video description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice and try them out. See if you like them. Disclaimer: I'm not a professional barber. You take your own responsibility for any damage done to your hair. So here's how you prepare yourself for the hair trimming. Number one, make sure you always wash your hair before, blow dry your hair afterwards, and get your tools ready. You will need a hair trimmer. This model is from Philips 3000 HC3525. It's really not super special, it was like 30 bucks or so, but it is wireless and it can work up to 45 minutes without interruption. You can go from 1 millimeter to 23 millimeters and adjust the length of the clipper that way. You only get 2 clippers in the package. I'm using only this one. There's also one larger one which I'm not using. Another step, you need to have additional mirror to your main mirror in the bathroom. You can use a front camera as well on your smartphone or a tablet for trimming your back with accuracy. And you may also need some scissors, but this is optional. So here I'm starting with setting up my trimmer on 3 millimeter, and I go with this 3 millimeter guard all the way up to the 4/5 of my sides and back. You can go 3/4 if you want. I'm going 4/5 because that's what I found is suitable to my head shape. And you cut the last 1/5 or 1/4 with 5 millimeter. Now at first it will take you a while to get accustomed to it and train your hands in a perfect coordination, and you will find out sometimes when you want to cut to the left your hand will go to the right and so on, and that's completely normal. That's how I started out as well. Cutting the hair on the sides is the easiest part in my opinion. The trickier part comes when cutting the back. In one hand you hold the trimmer and in the other you have your second mirror or a front camera, so you can better see whether you are not going way too high with that 3 millimeter setting. And after you are finished with the 3 millimeter setting on the 4/5, it's not gonna look very pretty, okay? And that's totally fine because we are not done yet. And here you can also notice how I like to go a little bit higher on the sides, and on the back I like to go around 3/4, and that's just the way I like to do it, okay? Afterwards I use the 5 millimeter for the upper 1/5 or 1/4, depends on how you decided to go before. And with that 5 millimeter, you need to go as high as to where the surface of your scalp starts to curve. Once this has been done, you will notice that your sides look pretty good already, but the back may still look like it lacks proper transition. And my hair on the crown is fairly short already, so the proper blending will be easier to do this time. However, if your hair on the crown is longer than mine, I suggest to only cut the lower portion of the crown with 9 to 11 millimeters, so it will look way more in sync with that 5 millimeter which we have used on the back. And you can of course even add 7 millimeter in between this 5 millimeter and a 9 to 11 millimeter zone to make it even more smooth. I personally like to have more seamless transition on the back and more disconnected type of look on the sides without that seamless transition. At the end you take the guard off completely and trim the areas behind your ears without clippers, and also make the nape area look cleaner by getting rid of that wispy hair, and you can kind of also play around with that shape if you will. Now here are the final tips to help you with the whole process if you have never done it before. Number one, you need to go slow for the first time and kind of get accustomed to that mind-hand coordination. And believe me, your moves may be hesitant at first because your hands are untrained, and this is completely normal. And another tip would be, if you are afraid to do this, you can also go to your barber and then wait about 2 weeks until your hair grows out a little bit, and then try to copy the same exact transitions and contours your barber gave you, because it's gonna be way more easier to do so successfully compared to trying to do these transitions from scratch on a long hair if you have never done it before. That's exactly what I did when I was trying this for the first time. And the last tip is practice, practice, practice. Now, for all of you who want to get your hairline to the next level with a hair transplant, as well as get your hair loss under control, make sure you check out the link below for more information and guidance on how you can work with me one-on-one. Avoid a failed or unnatural hair transplant. Receive best recommendations on clinics, doctors. Avoid wasting your time with treatments that don't work while your hair loss keeps on progressing further, and receive my opinion on your hair situation.